The root directory is Flask 2022, right? So I'm opening this root directory in Visual Studio Code by right clicking on the mouse and click on that option, open with code, right? So you will be entered in Visual Code. Now open a terminal. See this is a terminal where first of all create or install virtual environment by typing a command that is pip install virtual env, right? So I'm creating that app from the beginning for quick revision, right? Now after installation of virtual environment, create virtual environment by typing virtual env and give the name of your virtual environment which is to be created. VENV. That is the name of the virtual environment, nothing else. Okay, now you can see that virtual environment has been created. Now the next step is active this virtual environment. Just go to the environment and press tab key and press tab key and activate. Now just type A and press tab key. Okay, so this is the shortcut to write that command by using tab key. And now hit and enter the key, right? So the virtual environment has been activated. Here you need to install Flask by typing a command that is pip install Flask. While installing the Flask in your directory, so make sure you are connected with the internet connection. So now hit the enter key. It will take a couple of minutes. So wait for that. And I have already installed here. So after this, the you will get a short message that is successfully installed, right? So here now you need to create a Python file. Just click on that icon and type app.py. This is the shortcut to create a Python file. Now you can Google some code. Now just do one thing. Now write Flask minimal app, from where you can copy a short code and paste it into your page, right? So now I'm copying this code here and paste it here. Now what is that? From Flask, import Flask, right? So this is a library in which from we are importing the Flask submodule, right? So we say that the Flask name, right, into the app variable, right? We are going to create a route that is the method or the function which will call the first, right? So after writing this method or the function, now just write two more lines, that is like You can say that if name is equal to main, right? And now surrounded by double quotes. And now after this, say app dot run and debug is equal to true. So make sure these two lines you are to write here. Right? If you miss these two lines, that means your application will not be run. So make sure these two lines you are to write here, right? So now after this, save this program and just type Python app. So you can see that this is the simple program. Click on that link, you will be redirected on the Flask page. This is the simple Flask page. And uh, what is what is uh, what is that function do, right? So that function sends only the HTTP request in a simple text format, right? So you can see that if you will page source, so there is no HTML code inbuilt with that text, right? So if you want to inbuilt the HTML code in that text where you can easily write JavaScript and some more functionalities of HTML, right? So you need to import a simple HTML page where you can render HTML page into the Flask, right? So now just create a template. Okay, so here create an HTML file that is index.html. Right, this is
Okay.
the this
Okay.
is the HTML file, right?
Hmm.
So now write only the simple basic structure of HTML by putting the sign of exclamation, right? And now press the tab key. This is the short method to create the HTML basic structure of for HTML page, right? So now putting the sign exclamation, right? And press tab key, which is located on your keyboard, right? So now I'm pressing the tab key. See this, all the code. This is the short code and short method to create a basic HTML. And you can see that you can write h1, and this is render HTML page. Okay, so here um, you can you can give a simple text inside the heading tag. This is the heading tag. H1 is used to for the large heading, right? So now do one more thing. Add render template from the Flask library. Just type render template. You can see that. Now click on this, and the render template always uh, use with the return keyword. So you can render template, and inside this now render your HTML page, or you can uh, keep all the templates here, right? So it can be image file, it can be anything, right? Whatever it is, you can render your templates from here, right? So now I'm passing index.html, After this, see this, click on that link, and what is that? Okay, HTML, index.html. Index.html is not found. So why it says that index.html? We don't need to pass that key. Index render template. What happens? Import Flask, right? Render template. Okay, so you can see that written render template, which is template. Okay, so now the spelling is wrong. Templates, not template. All are okay. You know, click on this and see this. This is the render HTML page. And now you can view page source. So we have rendered the HTML code with your text. This is the HTML code where you can use jQuery or JavaScript, right? And all the things which is related to your server side, right? So now move to the next. Um, I'm creating a simple HTML page. Just go to the official website, that is catbootstrap.com. It is a it is an official website where some templates are already designed. You can select one of them from here, right? So so first of all, create start template. Now just copy that code, right, and paste it here. Now do one thing, remove all the lines here and paste here which you have copied from that page. Okay, so after this, um, add a nav bar, right? So I'm showing you that what is it, nav bar, right? So just click on that. This is the components. Multiple components are there, so you can select one of them, whatever you want to add here in your website, right? So this is nav bar, and look at this, the look wise where you can find some buttons. This is the nav bar, and drop down button and search button, right? So this is the simple navbar, and I'm copying this and adding it to in my website. So just create a div class container and see this. I have pasted here and see this. The final view of this page is like that. Okay, now I'm adding forms. I'm just typing form in the searching bar and enter. You can copy this form from that file, and I'm adding this into the page. After closing that div, create one more div where you can keep this form inside it. Div class is equal to container. Um, Bree, let me know. Do you have any idea about HTML? Do you have any idea about HTML?
No.
No. So this is a basic language, HTML, hypertext markup language, which is used to create a GUI of the websites, or uh, it is used to just uh, creating the graphical user interface, nothing else. This is the front end, right? We are working basically backend, so where we we write some logics and build into them, right? So just to understand a short talking, that is HTML is nothing, just use a simple designing, right? So I'm copying some basic code from there and pasting it into a website, nothing else, right? So you can create your own HTML code, right? So you can Google them, and whatever required you can create by your own. So add add to do, right? Add to do. Now after this, just what is that? Um, Title and ID is what? ID is title and four attribute. Title should be same, and we don't require this line, this. So I'm removing that line of code, and this is also this check box not required for this web page, right? I'm just removing that line of code and description. Okay, so DESC and give the ID DESC. Okay, now what is that? Add to do and add a table. Copy this code from here and paste it here. Div class container. Okay, so here, okay, now it is ready. See this. This is the final page, final, and add a label here, that is to do description. Okay, serial number, title, description, date, time. Okay, this final view of your pages here, and change the navbar and give the name is to do. Okay, now finally we have created a basic Flask page. See this, and now I'm adding database with it, right? So just open a new terminal and type pip install flask equal alchemy. Make sure the spelling should be correct. Flask SQL alchemy, right? So now hit the enter key. It will be installed. It will take a couple of minutes. Now the database has been successfully installed, and import your database here from Flask SQL alchemy. Import SQL alchemy and add one more library, that is from date time. Import date time. Okay, so after this, configure your database with your application. Config app.config. We are just configure our app, just passing the name or attributes, that is SQL alchemy database URI, right? This is the argument. SQLite todo.db. This is our database name. Todo is our database name. And now just db is equal alchemy and pass your app here. After this, run your application here. Okay, so you will get an error. So it says SQL Alchemy track modification add significant overhead and will be disabled by default in the future. Okay, so set it to true or false to suppress this warning, right? So now I'm just making it false. Okay, so now copy this code or this error here and make it false. Just writing the false keyword. Okay, so now it is okay. And now create a class that is to do, in which we are passing the database parameter model, right? So here you can create your fields which you want to be created in your database, right? So now just give the fields whatever you want to create in your database. So first of all, I want serial number as my first field, and so I'm creating db column db dot column. The data type of that field is integer, so just db dot integer and followed by the primary key, which means all the records are unique in that field. So making this primary key is equal to true. So that means whatever you enter in this column, whatever ID you enter in this column, so that will be a unique. I'm copying this line of code and paste it here. First column for serial number, second column for title, third column for description, and next column is for date creation. So I'm giving the name of date created, and four fields will be created in the database. The first will be serial number, second will be title, and next one is description, and the next one is date created. And now what type of data type that field has contained? It contains a string data type, so which cannot be null. So I'm passing the label is equal to false. Okay, so giving the size of this field, now paste it here, and that is also a string data type, and 500 is the size of characters in that field. And now db dot date time default equal to date time, and this is what date time default is the attribute which is store the real time in your database. So that's why I have made this column as default. So you don't need to enter the time and date and all, right? So it will be automatically stored in the database. Now, after this, create a function that is repr self tr, and what fields you want to see this. So just passing self dot s number, whatever you want to see this, you can pass here. Okay, inside curly braces, self dot title. Okay, so here this is okay. Now create simple Python and form from app import db. Okay, so that application has been imported, and now call this db dot create underscore all. Now after this, your data will be created here. Look at this. Okay, so next thing is send your to do here. Just give the name of the variable to do and to do, and I'm calling the just uh, you know what I'm calling that class inside this function. So to do and pass the required fields first to do, and desc is what the second parenthesis, that is uh, this is my to do, right? Now db dot session dot add and to do db dot session dot commit. Okay, now okay, run your application and go to the SQLite viewer where you can upload your database file here, and you can see that all the data here. So whatever we have inserted here. What is that? Okay, see this. And I'm adding some more records, that is refreshing by refreshing that page. Now after this, refresh this database also and upload that database one more time. So this is your database. Okay, so in that way you can create your database by Flask, right? Now after this, I want to display all the data, all the records here in this table. So what to do? Just install the simple extension, that is Jinja to snippet kit, right? The snippet kit. So make sure you are connected with the internet. So now I have already installed this uh, extension. So for the first time, you will find a button that is installed. So now click on that button, uh, and it will be installed. And after that, after installation, you will get two two more buttons, that is disable and uninstall. If you want to uninstall or disable this extension in the future, you can uh, do from here, right? So I've already installed. I don't need to install it again, right? I'm just showing that to you, right? So first of all, you can view in your terminal. Now give the product here. This is the another page, another page, another route. So another page. So now I'm giving products here, and and just I want only all all to do. This is the variable name, and in which I want to store to do dot query dot all, and print all to do. Okay, to go to the here and run your application. Okay, now product, as you run your page, all to do, this to do dot query dot all, print to do product. Okay, see this, you can print all to do's here. First to do, first to do, second to do, third to do, fourth to do, fifth to do, sixth to do. Okay, so in that way you can print your to do here. Now I'm adding all the to do's in the table here. So what you have to do, just do one thing, that is what copy that line of code here and add all to do is equal to all to do. Okay, now render this or send this all to do in your table.
Okay.
Um, Wait for a moment and write J4. Okay, now remove all these two extra rows in your table and cut this code from here and paste it inside it. And do that. What is your to do name? All to do, right? This is all to do. Now for to do in all to do, right? And to do dot serial number to do dot title to do dot description, or you can add more columns from here, right? So you can just copy this code and paste it here. You can add in that way, right? Date created. Okay, now it is all to do. Date created, date created, and all to do, to do, and all to do, right? Okay, see this. First to do, okay, wait for a moment. First to do, okay, all are right, and this is okay. First to do slash td, okay. So that means tr th. Okay, so loop dot index.
Hello.
Yes, hello. Index dot loop. Wait for a moment.
Okay. Okay, sorry. Just 10, 7.
Okay, wait for a moment. Okay, you can see that all the to-dos from the database we are just displaying in the table. Serial number, date, description, date. So this we have created the first page, right? So now in the next session, that is tomorrow, I'll write some to-dos here, that is title and description, that will be added in the table. Okay,
Okay.
so we will create in that way. Till that,
Okay,
goodbye.
bye. Bye.
Okay, bye.